Today, we're diving into the unspoken skills that separate the reactive leaders from those who can actually navigate chaos and come out stronger, sharper, and even more respected than ever. Hello there and welcome back. Have you ever noticed that when chaos hits, the best CEOs don't panic? They pause. They don't run faster. They actually slow down. And actually, that's one of the tricks to become a gold medal champion in Taekwondo. You need to slow down when things get fast. Chaos isn't the enemy. It's the amplifier. It reveals how prepared, present, and powerful your leadership truly is. So I'm Francois Lupien, the Executive Whisperer, and I work with CEOs and top executives through confidential conversations that sharpen clarity, strategy, and leadership presence. I promise progress. Let me take you inside a moment that changed how I lead forever. A CEO I was working with, let's call him Michael, was in the middle of a full-blown crisis. A key product launch was delayed, investors were frustrated, and his senior team was literally panicking. Michael was fielding 20 calls an hour, reacting to every flyer, and trying to control the uncontrollable. Sound familiar? That's what chaos does. It tempts you and me and actually everybody else to react. Yet, the more you do, the more control you actually lose. So I asked him one question that shifted everything. And here it is. Who do you need to be right now? Not what you need to do. That pause helped him access the calm, strategic version of himself instead of the frantic one. And once he did, decisions, they became clear. Communication stabilized, and his team began to follow his composed energy instead of his anxiety. Here's the skill number one that I suggest: emotional stillness. See, chaos feeds your emotional energy, the ability to remain calm internally when everything externally falls out of control. Think of it as your internal governor. When your mind stays still, your judgment stays sharp. I've worked with CEOs who've turned billion-dollar pivots, not by rushing decisions, but by taking 10-second silence before speaking. Here's a pro tip. In the next high-pressure moment, instead of reacting instantly, pause for at least 5 seconds and breathe. That brief silence signals control to yourself and to others as well, and to your nervous system and your team and your board, everybody around you. Puts you back into control. Here's a skill number 2, pattern awareness. See, the second unspoken skill, and they're unspoken, is that pattern awareness I just talked about. Average leaders see problems. Great leaders see pattern, recurring, and the breakdown points of the systematic misalignment. When I coach CEOs through chaos, I often ask them, where have you seen this before? That question transforms confusion into data. Suddenly, chaos becomes feedback, not failure. What a concept. And from there, you can realign strategy instead of firefighting symptoms. So here's a pro tip. Start journaling your recurring leadership challenges. When you see patterns emerge, you'll know exactly what to do to fix it at the root level. Here's the unseen skill number 3, confidential reflection. Here's where most CEOs miss the mark. They process chaos alone. They think that leadership means carrying the weight quietly. Yet, the best leaders I know, those who stay composed in crisis, never navigate alone. They carve out confidential space to unpack their thoughts, test strategies, and offload emotional weights that they carry silently. That's what I provide through private executive conversations. It's not therapy, it's clarity. It's the space where CEOs can think out loud without judgment or consequence. That's where breakthroughs happen, because when the noise stops, true strategy speaks. So here's the integration assignment for this week. Number 1, identify area of chaos in your business right now. So just one area, because if it's too many, then there's confusion that comes again. Just one area. Number 2, instead of jumping into action, take a 5-minute pause. Ask yourself and feel, what emotions are present right now? What patterns repeat? Or who can help you think this through confidently? Write down those answers. Don't just think about them. When you write them down, you take the chaos out of your mind and you put it on paper. Then it's easier to actually deal with it. You'll be amazed how clarity appears when you slow down enough to hear your own wisdom and write it down so you can contemplate on it even deeper. Remember this, chaos isn't a test of your intelligence, it's a test of your presence. When you master stillness, awareness, and reflection, chaos stops being something you survive and becomes something you leverage. If this resonates, we could talk more about it together. You know where to find me. I'm Francois Lupien, and I work with top CEOs and executives through confidential conversations that sharpen clarity, strategy, and leadership presence. I promise progress. Let's talk.